going on? Um, Updated today's lineup for the evening slate, and I'm also going to share with you guys an early slate breakdown. I'm not going to go into it too deep, but I got an early slate video I want to share with you guys today, and I updated my late slate video as well. Um, I did see someone mention that they made a Twitter and a Facebook so we could have different avenues of sharing ideas and ways of me reaching out to you guys. But no matter what I put on Twitter and Facebook, I will always update YouTube as well because some people use certain programs, some people do not. So all three programs are going to be in effect. Once I get acclimated to Twitter and Facebook, I'm going to get those going. But YouTube will always be priority. This is how it started. So any updates made on those sites that's significant, I would put in my comment section on the YouTube video as well. I'm just trying to make all avenues available to everyone, all right? Um, I have not yet looked at those accounts. I will at some point. Um, just came back from the casino. Good news, guys. I made 350 instead of 200 today. Instead of betting the minimum, I took $500 with me. I was playing $50 hands. And to make up for the money I lost on Draftkings last night, I raised my quota a little bit. And to my surprise, it only took me about an hour and 45 minutes. Knocked it out, came back home. Now I'm ready to make some fire for you guys, all right? On the main slate lineup from last night, I took a look at it, and this Hollis Jefferson pick just didn't sit well with me. You know I don't like to take risks. Um, I don't like to take risks. I was very worried and concerned about it. Even at the casino, in my mind, I'm like, Hollis Jefferson, man, he could give me 14 or 12 on any given night, and I'm trying to be safe tomorrow. It's just not a pick that I'm interested in. So I took Hollis Jefferson out. All right, did not sit well with me. Because of that, I had to take Julius Randle out. So when I was looking to who to replace Julius Randle with, we know that the Sixers give up a lot of points to big men, but I think it's gonna be a surprise Laker that actually plays the center that show out against them like a Zubac. Something tells me Zubac is gonna have a very big game today. So if you're about risk and you want to take a risk tomorrow, take a risk on Zubac. If we look at Zubac, he's been playing more minutes lately and he's been doing better. He's a point per minute guy. He's a true center. He's the type of player that will go off against the Sixers. And once he comes in the game, I think he'll take over. And I think that might limit Randall's production once Zubac get going. And I don't know. So I had to replace someone of similar quality for a cheaper price. So Porzingis came to mind. He's in a better matchup. The team is trying to get him more into things as they're seeing that they're not getting into the playoff. They're changing to this true triangle and they're trying to do the offense around Porzingis. Carmelo Anthony only took like 7 shots last night. Porzingis is the person that they're giving the ball to. They're trying to get him into form. They expect Carmelo to leave and they want Porzingis to be acclimated to the team. In 2 games against the Nets, Porzingis had 40-point success, and it's a good matchup. He's been in the 40s and 50s. Personally, I think he settles in the high 30s, but um, not too much off of a gamble coming down from Randall. So I ended up going with Porzingis instead. I also had to take Devin Booker out and find a guard cheaper who can give me some security. I'm looking for security today, right? Jeff Teague doesn't make me feel too secure, and he's only $200 cheaper. Derrick Rose can be up and down. I don't feel too safe about him. The person I felt safe about here, McConnell would have made me feel safe. And to be honest, McConnell paired with Rodriguez would give you security that no matter who's the point guard on the floor, you know that they'll do well against a Lakers team who struggles against the point guard. But even with McConnell, I think I did play around with McConnell, handcuffing him to Rodriguez. Um, I couldn't find a forward that made me happy. Right? Trevor Booker just doesn't really make me too excited. Um, Now I can put Dion Waiters in the forward spot and throw McConnell. That's an option. I could put Dion Waiters in the forward spot and then throw McConnell and then throw Pat Beverly. Pat Beverly gives me a lot of security tomorrow. I love Pat Beverly. Um, he had a 21 and an 18 game in his last two, but against the Cavaliers, we know they're generous to point guards. I think he gets it going back into the 30s and tomorrow. That's a safe pick. So Pat Beverly is the person that I was considering. Now, um, what did I do here? So, this is an option. This is a great option right here. The only thing is, um, in my investigation, I was faced with either playing James Johnson or McConnell, and that was a big decision for me because McConnell was giving up and sharing a lot of minutes to um, Rodriguez. They're splitting his minutes. The last two games he got 30 minutes, and he's just not pulling it. If I get teens from McConnell, which is unlikely against the Lakers, but if I do, I won't be happy. So what I did was kept Dion Waiters as my guard, and for the same price, I found a guy who had a little more upside and who can make me just as happy as McConnell can. But I felt a little more secured with the pick, which is James Johnson. He's steadily around the 30s. He can get you up into the 40s, but 30s seems to be around his floor. And sure, sometimes he'll get down into the low 20s, but it's just not as likely as for McConnell. And especially when Dragic is in jeopardy of missing time, I feel like James Johnson can play a little bit of point forward where he controls the ball a little bit. And in only 27 minutes in two games against Indiana, he already put up mid 30s, which will make me happy for him tomorrow. So I got with this lineup. This is my new lineup. I think it's less risky. Heavy on the Miami Indiana side, a little heavy on the Cleveland, Houston, couple New York. I think this is it. This is my new lineup that I'm playing, guys, in most of my games. I feel like it's better than the one that I put in last night. I did not want Richard Hollis Jefferson, man. That did not sit with me. But all these picks here are safe picks in my opinion. I think this is the lineup. This is the way to go. And then for the early slate, this is my lineup. I won't break it down too much. I could just tell you that all these players here, except for maybe Monte Ellis, are liable of going off on any given night. Courtney Lee has been hot lately, and the new offense, he's getting a lot of shots. Carmelo is taking fewer shots. He's getting rebounds, assists. So Courtney Lee, and Monte Ellis were the two that I took risks on. Monte Ellis is just almost minimal, and he'll get you mid-teens. He can push you into the 20s, and um, when Jeff T come out struggling, they go to him. He normally show up. So he's a gamble. It's an early slate. I'm only putting like $4 on it in the Sharks competition. And I'm just hoping I could just make $5 or $6 off of it. I'm not expecting to hit the bank, but I can, and I may. I might just have the winning lineup. Who knows? But this is what I came up with. Isaiah Thomas, his price came down a little bit. He's pretty safe. He needs about 50. He's been in the 30s for the last two games, but in a good matchup. Back at home, finally. They just came from this gruesome 5-game road trip. So teams, when they come back at home, they seem to settle in well. The only thing is, he just flew from Denver to Boston in 2 days. All right. So one day was just flying and traveling and then having to go to practice. And I know in college basketball, teams, when they go on a road trip, their first game back home is normally a rough one for them. But I like Isaiah Thomas nonetheless. Courtney Lee, I spoke about. Paul George is hot right now. He's in the 40s consistently. He can even get you into the 50s. And he's the go to guy for that team. He's a hit or bust kind of player. This game right here, I'm doing more of a tournament upside lineup because I don't care about $4 really. So I'm just looking for the upside, which Paul George have, versus the floor, which he has. But he's home. He should do well. James Johnson, I spoke about in the other video. Hassan Whiteside against Indiana. We know they the history. 50-point averaging. He destroys that team. He has a good time against that team. Monte Ellis, I spoke about. Dion Waiters and Hernan Gomez. If you watch my video from last night, you know how I feel about those two. All right. So this is my early lineup. This is my updated main slate lineup. Um, I am gonna do my videos earlier in the night. A lot of people have been requesting it. So like if people who work overnight before they go to work, they can listen to my video while they're driving, while they're at work, they can listen to it. Um, so what I'm going to do is once I'm able to, once the games get going, I'm going to do a video for the next day. And then what I'll try to do is early in the day, well, in the mid afternoon when news are out and things seem certain which direction I'm going, I'm going to make another video. And then if I do a live chat, I'm not changing my video. I'm not updating anything on the live chat. I don't really like too much external sources influencing my decision while I'm making it because I think that my judgments start getting shifted in different directions and things can go wrong. So I'm going to make a final lineup before I go live. And the only way I make changes while I'm live is if a big injury drops that um, kind of make me have to make a change, then I'll make a change. But that's my new structure going forward. I think the live thing last night and taking picks against my judgment kind of cost me the night. So once I go live, I'm not changing my lineup unless the big injury drop. And that's the new system. That's my new adjustment that I'm gonna make. You know, I'm a guy about systems, so I gotta get into a custom and stick to it. All right. So that's it, guys. Good luck today.